The ag sector is weighing in on President Trump's new farm aid package. $12 billion in bridge payments will be going out to row crop and specialty crop producers to help offset market disruptions and rising input costs. And U.S. Senator Jerry Moran of Kansas joins us now with his thoughts on this. We sure do appreciate you taking the time to be with us this morning. So what all are you hearing from farmers on this new assistance announcement?
Well, I think there's a sadness that this is necessary, but there's certainly a realization that there's really no choice. And the timing is helpful in assuming that our farmers can convince their bankers the value of that $12 billion to them and their operations. At the moment, many of us are waiting for more information. Today we learned that USDA will have a formula by which they determine the payment per acre. And that will be determined by later this month, here in December, based upon cost of production, based upon price, and based upon yield. We'll have an understanding what that payment will look like to individual farms across the country. And we also know that the form for which the farmer is going to have to apply will be pre-filled in with their acres qualified, and they sign, and hopefully that payment is predicted to be in the mail, in the farmer's pocketbook by the end of February.
The package is at $12 billion, as you mentioned. Would you say it's enough to help offset the financial strains that farmers have been facing this past year?
Well, I doubt it. And it wouldn't surprise me, but what we are asked and probably need to do another amount of money for meeting the needs of farmers. When China is not buying agriculture commodities, it's really hard to fill that gap. So that's a problem. I would tell you that I chair a subcommittee that funds the USTR. The trade ambassador is in front of our subcommittee this afternoon. We'll have information more from him about trade agreements, which are hugely important in solving agriculture's problems. We want markets, not payments. And then I also would say that at least in Kansas and many places that have had long-term drought, our farmers are just not prepared for another year of significant circumstances in which the bottom line can't be met. And that's certainly where we are. And we're not in a good shape going into another year in which the high input costs and the low commodity prices don't meet in a way that makes agriculture profitable. We'll continue to be the advocates for those, certainly the row crops and the specialty crops, to try to make sure that there is money available to keep our farmers in business.
I know your constituents appreciate that. The new bridge payments aim to keep farms stable until expanded safety net programs begin in 2026. What's your outlook for the farm economy in this year ahead?
Well, I think that is so dependent upon trade and so dependent upon those world markets. And we'll be encouraging USTR to continue their efforts to get bilateral trade agreements, including agriculture commodities, to be able to be sold around the globe. And we'll be trying to make certain the administration holds the China feet to the fire, so to speak, when it comes to the agreements that they've made to purchase soybeans and grain sorghum. So the farm economy is certainly challenged. And whether or not there's an increase in outlook, an improvement in that circumstance, depends upon our ability to sell those commodities around the globe, particularly in a year in which we've generally had pretty good output, pretty good production, and yields have been high. Certainly in Kansas, it's been a difference where we've had rain in the last year after 2, 3, 4 years of having little or no moisture.
U.S. Senator Jerry Moran of Kansas, we know your calendar is full. We sure appreciate your time this morning.